The approach to deep canvassing that we've been talking about are ancient. Storytelling is an ancient way of influencing people. In fact, the reason it works is because using analytics or data are relatively new. They've only been around for a few hundred years, where storytelling's been around for thousands of years. The idea of deploying these methods at scale is relatively new, and even the idea of deploying these methods within the context of one's relationship network is relatively new. Mayor Pete did this when he did well in the Iowa caucuses only a few years ago. There's good research that shows that this is the best way of trying to do persuasion. But let's face it, these methods are difficult. Compassion and empathy are difficult, especially in a divisive time. And they don't always work. It's your best chance at working, but they don't always work. So you have to ask yourself some hard questions about how you want to spend your time. Fundamentally, doing this type of work within your friendship network is individual work. It's not teamwork like going to a canvassing event or going to knock on doors or going to write postcards. Although I would say it is useful to have a team of other people doing this work with you, which is why we gave you reflection questions and encourage people to work in groups. But ultimately, it's individual work. Now, you still have to ask yourself, how am I spending my most precious resource, which is my time? Now, this method invests you in your relationships, but the point is to influence the election, which is why we try to give you an algorithm for determining the high priority targets in your network. In order to do that well, it's important to focus on the process, not the outcome, because people won't want to change if you're too thirsty to want them to change. The point of all this is not to pull people away from traditional election work. That work can be energizing too. The point is to give people another option, because so many people just spend time doom scrolling and worry about this and having conversations where they look at the other side as unreachable. That is not as helpful. You need to ask yourself hard questions about how you want to spend your time. And you should ask those questions because you are important. My hope is that people spend less time just reviewing content and having conversations that just move you emotionally and upset you, and spend more time having conversations that actually move other people toward the election results that we want. If you like the content of this video, please press like or subscribe, because that helps the algorithm push it out to more people who might want to see it. Anything you do in support, whether it's a like or a subscribe or a share or even a small financial contribution to this self-funded project, is helpful in making sure we can continue this important work of spreading compassion for the sake of democracy.